introduce Jessica Gu, who has been selected by her classmates to speak on behalf of the senior class. A two-time national champion in ultimate frisbee, a freelance writer who has published in online magazines, including Slate and Counterpunch, a bartender, a union organizer. Jessica came to the University of Michigan following completion of her Bachelor's of Arts degree at Stanford University. While at Michigan, she has been active in several advocacy groups, including OutMD, Medical Students for Choice, and University's Ally for Essential Medicines. She was also the delegate and chair of the Resolution Committee for the local chapter of the American Medical Association. The next phase of her professional training will take Jessica and her partner to Seattle, where Jessica will be doing a family medicine residency at Swedish Cherry Hill. Please join me in welcoming Jessica Gu, the 2012 class leader.
Being chosen by my classmates to speak today is a huge honor, and I can't even express how much it means to me, so thank you so much, guys. Because today is a very special day for all of us. My yaya is 95 years old. We used to live under the same roof, but these days he lives on the other side of the world. Whenever we get the chance to talk, even before we exchange hellos, he gets right down to business and asks, "You see Isa, Mom?" This means in Chinese, "Are you a doctor yet?" I can't even count the number of times that I've had to say, "not yet, grandfather." More recently, he seems to be a little bit restless because I think it's taken a long time, so I've taken responding, "Quite low," which means almost. Today is special because after years of hard work and dedication, we can all finally say, "是，我是医生." Yes, I'm a doctor. So it's not surprising that lately, I've been thinking about what kind of doctor I want to be. I had a revelation the other day. I was sitting on the floor in my final pajamas, and I was doing laundry. I was looking at one of those little tags with the care instructions on them. I don't like them. They're picky, they're very demanding, and they never say thank you. But I had a new shirt, so I read the tag. Machine wash cool, tumble dry low, do not iron, be kind. My teacher instructed me to be kind. This is sheer brilliance. I want to meet the person who wrote this and shake their hand. I'm going to post it on Facebook, and I'm going to like it. You probably think that I'm overreacting, but I love that tag because in reality, care instructions are easy. Following them is tedious, but not difficult. Being kind on the other hand is hard. And though it's basic, it's frequently forgotten. At this point, I want to discuss the difference between the words kindness and kind. Because there's an important distinction. Kindness is easy. Kindness is discreet. It's attached to moments, gifts, and favors. One can decide when, where, and how to perform a kindness, if at all. But in order to be kind, that requires consistency. To be kind means that kindness happens even in moments of fatigue, frustration, fear. Kindness can be hard to find when it's the dead of night and you're paged for something that seems to be kind of trivial. It can be hard to find when you have too many things to do and too little time. And it can be hardest of all to find when someone else has just been unkind to you. To be kind means that we exhibit kindness, not just when it's convenient, but particularly when it's the most inconvenient. And that's hard. It's not something you can turn on when you need to, because kind is a habit. Like any medical procedure, It must be practiced, because it will be so much easier to exhibit kindness even in the most dire situations if it's a habit already. So forget smart, forget hardworking, we're those things already. And we can do better than that. I'm challenging myself when I want to be a doctor to be kind. Kindness, I kind of sound like an after-school special. Basically, I have 2 points. One is that being kind is a habit that we must prioritize for our patients and each other. And 2, because today's communities, no matter how far apart, are inextricably tied, our actions impact people that we will never even meet. So being truly kind requires looking beyond the direct interactions that we have and considering everyone in this world. What I say next is going to sound a little strange, but it's something that I've given a lot of thought to, so please bear with me. As an inhabitant of one of the richest countries in the world, I know that when I die, I will have taken more from this world than I will have given. And that's unkind. I don't say this to be a downer or to guilt trip anyone. It's simply a conclusion that I've come to after looking at the numbers. I consider it evidence-based living. I started with my carbon footprint. If you crunch the numbers, it's clear that my efforts to reduce, reuse, recycle, they're mere droplets compared to the energy I consume with my daily necessities like my refrigerator, water heater, my car. I realize that the comfort that I've grown to consider normal is not neutral. So instead of seeing my positive efforts as icing on the cake, I now understand that they are necessary and not nearly enough probably to make up for what I am mindfully consuming. And I've come to accept that this is true in all areas of my life. According to the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, the CIA, the purchasing power parity per capita, it's this measure of wealth, is $48,000 international dollars in the United States. Compare this to the world in aggregate, which is 11,000, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, 300. Thus, we're only 4.5% of the world's population, but have a per capita wealth of over 4 times the world average. It's hard to reconcile that with our daily behavior. If we all sat down to eat some pie together, I'm sure we'd split it evenly, because we're all fair people. You know, even as a kid, when I watched Sesame Street, I didn't like the Cookie Monster. But if we're honest with ourselves, the harsh reality is that we are Cookie Monsters. Maybe not to our family and friends, but we are undeniably the Cookie Monsters of the world. And within this country, our Cookie Monster country, as newly minted doctors, we're an elite bunch. Doctors are only 0.2% of the US population. The amount of privilege that we have, if only by virtue of our education and influence, is immense. This is not to diminish the hard work and obstacles that we've overcome to get here. Acknowledging privilege can be very confusing. Haven't I worked hard? Yes. Can I be proud of my accomplishments? Don't I deserve this? Yes. We can be both hardworking and privileged. I absolutely believe that hard work should be rewarded. And, in an ideal world, the concept of deservedness might make sense. The meritocracy that we like to believe functions would happen without the interference of class or discrimination. But that's not the world that we live in. If wealth in the US is measured at 48,000 and it's only 300 in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, that means I have 160 times the wealth. Am I really 160 times more deserving than all of the 71 million people that live there? All this is to say, giving back is not a favor that we bestow upon the world. It is compulsory. It is compulsory because given all that we have, doing nothing is not neutral, but harmful. And more importantly, it is compulsory because giving back is kind. And being kind is the foundation for being humane. The fantastic news is that giving back, or what I like to call transferring privilege, can take many forms. Doesn't matter what your passions are, what your specialty is. I truly believe that everyone can find a way. It can look like advocacy work that brings resources to communities so they can empower themselves. It can mean mentoring high-risk youth so they get the skills and education they need to be successful. Research can be done in collaboration with vulnerable populations so that we actually address the most pressing issues. The possibilities are literally endless, and I, for one, cannot wait to see all the things that we come up with. Today, I will call my yaya and say, 我是医生了. I think he'll be proud of me. And my guess is that, to him, becoming a doctor means that I'm smart, diligent, and noble. But I can't help but think that his vision of what being a doctor is slightly different than mine. The world has changed so much since he came of age. Our community is now a global one. So we understand that simply taking care of the patients that are put before us is not enough. We are the new breed of doctor in the new world. And somehow, I want to tell my grandfather all of this. I want him to understand my hopes and dreams. I'm a little nervous, though, because I don't really know all of those words in Chinese. But I still want to try. And when I do, perhaps I'll start with Ban Ai. That's the Chinese phrase for both kindness and humanity. Thank you.